Hello, sweet loves, and welcome to the audio video version of the Awareness Manual, where we're going to walk through the steps you need to effortlessly remove uncertainty and connect with your authentic self. I am going to try and keep this video representation as close as possible to the PDF because that is the whole point, but I do tend to add things every now and then. But without further ado, let's get started. The first thing I want you to take away from this manual is that there is no such thing as one size fits all. And if you take nothing else away from this manual, please take this. And the second thing I want you to take away from this is once you discover how beautifully unique you are and were designed to be, create an understanding within yourself that everyone else is too. And use that to show everyone compassion when they differ from us in some way or don't do things like us or when we don't agree with the way they do things. Not everyone is going to have this knowledge yet or be as far along in their awareness journey as you. So remember this time, this feeling right now before you dive into this, and file that away for how others might be feeling later in your future. The reason I want you to really focus on that fact that there is no one size fits all is because there's going to be a lot of customizable information in this manual that you're going to need to find on your own. And don't worry, I will be giving you the steps to do that too. But I want to preface this with letting the cat out of the bag, if you will, so that you don't get discouraged or caught off guard when you get to the parts that are going to require some effort on your part. When you're putting together IKEA furniture, just reading the manual isn't going to magically put those tightly compact pieces of furniture together, right? You got to put the effort in. And the reason I want to preface with that is because this manual is hopefully going to land in the hands of hundreds of people to help them improve their authentic connection with themselves and increase their awareness of and accept how they operate. But to create one manual to help hundreds of people that I believe and know are all different is a huge undertaking. Hence, the customization components needed and effort required on your part. Okay, now, I've hopefully laid out some helpful expectations moving into this manual, but I also want to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about my story. And the reason why I'm doing this is that more than likely, I'm a complete stranger to you. And why would you take the advice of a complete stranger? Me telling you about myself is going to hopefully give you some insight into knowing who I am, which will hopefully get you to like me, what I stand for, and that will hopefully lead you to trusting me a little bit more. And the ultimate goal for that is that if you trust me, you're more likely to actually use this information to benefit your life. And that's my real goal. I am Carolina Jimena. I am a human design facilitator, public speaker, chai tea latte enthusiast, biracial queer, and founder of Authentic Soul Club. And for as long as I can remember, I felt like there was something fundamentally wrong with me. Yeah, we're getting off on a vulnerable note here already. It's true, and it's pretty much the foundation of why I got into this line of work in the first place. Ever since I was a kid, I always marched to the beat of my own drum, and I truly felt like maybe I didn't belong here. Maybe I was born at the wrong time, maybe I wasn't supposed to be born at all. I felt so different from everyone and what everyone wanted and what everyone was into. And I also felt and was often told that I was too much. Too outspoken, too argumentative, too assertive. And this created a huge disconnect within me because what felt true and authentic to me on the inside was getting a lot of heat and negativity on the outside. So I started to doubt myself. I started to conform. I started to do what everybody else was doing and following this roadmap others had laid out for me. But that didn't feel good either. I became depressed, and that disconnect within me, that inauthenticity, became bigger and bigger and harder to ignore until finally I snapped. Literally, I came home from work one day and I collapsed on my apartment floor, got a debilitating migraine, and I ended up in emergency. I knew then that something had to shift, something had to change. I had to accept the fact that I was different and that I couldn't keep following what other people were doing and what other people were telling me to do because it couldn't be right. It couldn't be. If this is what was leading to physically, mentally, emotionally, was not good. If I had had this manual back then, I would have saved myself so much heartache, so much headache, misery, and most importantly, time. I would have saved myself so much time. And time is one of our few non-renewable resources. Once time is gone, it's gone and you can't get it back. Money, you can make and create more. Food, you can buy and grow more. Water, you can get and find more. But time, it's just gone. So that's my hope for you. That's my goal, to save you all of those things, but most importantly, time. Time so you can live your life authentically and connect to it in the most meaningful and beautiful way possible. So you can honor who you are and help make the world a more diverse and beautiful place, where people who are and feel different are celebrated and loved for it. Discovering your human design. What you should know and why. I was going to explain how to do the how first, and then I realized that I would need to know why I was doing something before I spent my precious time taking action on it. And I decided, and then decide if it was actually going to help me or not. So that feels like the better order to do this. Saying human design changed my life is a gross understatement. Something I've always innately known is that we're all different. We're all so beautifully unique in a way that creates a beautiful energy when we come together and work together in aligned ways that actually feel good, genuine, and authentic to us. I want you to think of a time when you felt like there was something wrong with you, or maybe a time when you couldn't keep up, air quotes, or when you felt like you were being too much, more air quotes, or you felt bad about bouncing from project to project. All of those moments that go against the status quo, human design has an answer for them. Knowing about your human design gives you permission to be who you actually are, to finally accept the parts of you that are different. Human design isn't going to help you find yourself because you're not lost. You already know who you are. What human design is going to do is decondition the BS that society has made you feel bad about, and it's going to give you a bunch of aha moments and holy F, that makes so much sense. Yes, 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 that's me. Seriously. Now there's a lot to know about human design. In full disclosure, I'm still learning about human design and deeply into my studies. But we're going to start off with some fundamentals and a foundation that played a huge part in my journey, and pretty much everyone's journey that I've introduced human design to, whether they wanted to be introduced to it or not. But these fundamentals are legit enough to get you started, to make a huge impact into your life, without actually changing anything. That's the effortless part. This is all about bringing awareness to who you actually are and accepting that. Once you accept that this is how you were designed, things truly start falling into place. Now, I want to give a disclaimer. I am what's known as a pure generator in human design. So everything I experience and explain is coming from the lens of a generator. I do my best to try and put myself in the other type's shoes, and I'm thankful for my friends that are other energy types whom I get to observe and interpret, but I feel this is important to know that there will always be a slight bias or misunderstanding because of my viewpoint and lived experience as a generator. All right, step 1. First thing you need to know in order to really connect with your authentic self is understand what your energy type is. Everyone falls under one of 5 different energy types. Now you might be thinking, Carolina, you said this made us all unique. How do 7.8 billion people fit into 5 energy types and you think that makes us unique? Layers, my friend. Lots of human design layers. This is just the first one. When I found out I was a pure generator, it was like I finally had a vehicle equipped with an internal GPS system programmed just for me to help me drive back home to myself. Knowing my energy gives me permission to be and acknowledge exactly that, my energy. How I move through the world, how I function, where to look for inspiration, or in my case as a generator, wait for it to find me. The thing is, each energy type is slightly different, and that's where a lot of guilt, burdens, and shame can stem from, is when we're not honoring and working within our correct energy and or trying to be something that we're not. We are designed to be different, and where the magic comes from is when we do honor our energy and work together. Fact, being a generator, I am part of the largest population of energy type in the world. We make up about 37% of the world's population, which means that the world was pretty much created and designed by generators. So if you're not a generator, i.e. the other 4 types that make up 63% of the world, you're more likely to feel like there's something off about you because you're not part of the quote-unquote majority. But there's nothing off about you. You just live in a world that was mostly created and designed by an energy type that differs from yours. So let's learn a little bit about the types and how to find out which one you are. Manifestors. Hello, you beautiful and fiery creatures that literally create magic out of thin air. When you speak things into existence out loud, you legit create magic out of nothing. Witnessing a manifestor honoring their correct energy is like watching something awe-inspiring out of this world that we can't make sense of. And there's no point in trying, but it's beautiful to witness. Manifestors make up only about 8% of the world's population. Generators, my people. We're the Energizer bunnies of the energy types. We can go and 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 go. Being a generator is so easy because we literally magnetize solutions and answers to us. We don't have to push or force anything. Watching a generator honoring their correct energy is like watching the arrivals terminal of an airport and the warm, enveloping hugs that feel energized, welcome, and easy. Generators make up about 37% of the world's population. Manifesting generators. You're like little jackrabbits, bouncing around from idea to idea, project to project. You have the energy of a generator with a little more potent manifestation magic like a manifestor. You are a beautiful hybrid. Watching a manifesting generator honoring their correct energy is like watching a movie at 2x speed, but you still get and feel all the magic and the emotion of the story. Manifesting generators make up about 33% of the world's population. Projectors, our wise owls. You pay attention to your surroundings, and when you're invited to take the floor, you floor us with your wisdom, knowledge, and ideas to lead and guide us to the next amazing thing. Watching a projector honoring their energy is like watching a great big tidal wave coming in to clear the debris and garbage and leaving behind a clear and serene beach. Projectors make up about 21% of the world's population. And lastly, reflectors. You are our mirrors for everything. It might be hard to discern your own feelings or emotions because you're absorbing and reflecting everyone around you. Watching a reflector honoring their energy is like, I'm going to be honest, I've only met a reflector once and it was in passing for like 2 minutes, but I imagine it's kind of like the mirror of Erised. Any other Harry Potter fans here? A reflector mirrors a person's truth without taking it on themselves. Reflectors only make up 1% of the world's population, making them the rarest of the energy types. I want to have a little note here that in step 6, I've written little reminder notes for each of the energy types, so keep these on hand because you will need these reminders at some point. Step Two, to effortlessly remove uncertainty and connect with your authentic self, is knowing your correct strategy. This is where most people feel like they get things wrong, air quotes, because they're not using their design's correct strategy to move forward. We all have a correct way of taking action. Again, it's when we try to be something that we're not that problems tend to arise or things start to not feel good. For a really long time, I thought I had to sit in my office alone and create things in order to be successful. And I would get so frustrated at myself, and I would waste hours and hours, quote unquote, working from sun up until sundown, but not actually getting anything done or accomplishing anything, because that's not how I'm designed to operate and not how I'm designed to take action. Manifestors, you are designed to inform and initiate. Don't ask for permission, because it will probably come across passive aggressive, even if that's not your intention. Trust your energy. Trust that when you tell us what you need, feel, expect, etc., we will receive it correctly because you're using your energy correctly. And initiate. Get the ball rolling for things. Use your magic to get us started, but don't put the pressure on yourself to keep the ball rolling. That's our job, the rest of the energy types. Generators. We are designed to wait, my friends, and respond when we get our internal green light. See authority when we get to it. And get our bearings in order and then take steps forward. The world is literally our playground, so go out there and play. See what you come across, what conversations you have, what you hear on the radio or a podcast. Immerse yourself and let the magic and inspiration find its way to you. Don't push, don't initiate. That's a manifestor's job. Manifesting generators. You are designed to wait, respond when you get your internal green light, also see authority, and leap into action, figuring out the rest later. The world is also your playground. Go and play and see what ignites within you. Don't get caught up in the logistics. Don't get bogged down trying to create the perfect plan. Trust that you'll do the steps that actually need to be done. Projectors. You are designed to wait for the floor to open to you, to be invited in. Trust that when people need your guidance and expertise, the doors will open for you. People will seek you out. Don't insert yourself without the invitation, because then it can come across too penetrating and your brilliant ideas get blocked and go unheard. Reflectors. You are designed to be patient and wait a lunar cycle for clarity. Trust that you won't miss the boat or miss out on an opportunity. You are here to reflect the world around you. Don't get discouraged or try to rush time. Also, don't get wrapped up in the exacts. You don't have to wait 28 days to decide what to have for lunch either. Ask yourself how you feel about something, or if you're pulling in someone else's feelings. Step 3 in the awareness manual is understanding and knowing your incorrect, not self-theme, and your correct signature. This one is really hard for me to put into words because it's super annoying to experience, but super helpful when we do experience it. I've spent a lot of time feeling frustrated that things weren't working out or weren't going according to my plans or weren't going the way I wanted them to or was expecting them to. But once I learned that feeling frustration was my not self theme, I shifted the way I looked at it, and it went from something that was super annoying to a gift. A gift letting me know, hey, this isn't what you're supposed to be doing. This is going against your energy. And as everything has two sides, a balance, the other side of my not self theme is my correct signature feeling. And for me, that is satisfaction. I know when I feel satisfied with something, that's my body and my spirit telling me, yes, this is right. And you guessed it, each energy type has a different way of letting them know that this doesn't feel right and this does feel right. Manifestors. You are not naturally angry people. You're just living in a world that's trying to force you to be something that you're not and go against your energy that feels natural to you. When you feel angry, that's your cue to stop and ask yourself, hey, what's not working here? What am I trying to do that doesn't feel good to me? Your correct signature, it's peace. You literally bring peace into the world. Generators. You already got a glimpse of your not self and signature earlier from my story because I am you and I talked about mine. But feeling frustrated, that's your cue to stop pushing. Things are meant to be easy for us. Satisfaction. When we try to force things instead of letting them magnetize to us, we are going against our energy. I mean, how satisfying is it when you think about needing something and it just appears somehow? Manifesting generators. Since you are a generator at the root of it, the above information applies to you too. However, you are still your own little energy type, and I feel like it's a dishonor to manifesting generators to always loop them in with generators. So something I want to add for you, and this applies to generators too, is that you might be a little quicker to reach anger after frustration. And that anger after frustration is the cue that you've been ignoring something for too long. You've been ignoring that frustration for so long that your energy is now screaming at you to let you know that something isn't working. Remember, things aren't meant to be hard. They're meant to be very satisfying. Projectors. How annoying is it when people brush off your amazing ideas or don't welcome what you have to say? Super annoying, right? Could almost start to make you feel bitter towards people, life, things, etc. When you start to feel bitter or resentful, that's your cue to ask yourself, where haven't I been waiting for the invitation? Have you been inserting yourself? What's not working about this right now? You are meant to feel success, my friends. How amazing does it feel when someone does open the floor for you and you blow them away with your wisdom? Reflectors. Understanding your not self theme is probably going to be the trickiest for you because you absorb everyone and everything around you. So you might pick up a lot of other not self theme feelings around you. When you start to feel disappointed though, that's when you're reflecting your actual feelings, that something you're doing isn't aligned with you, and you might need to spend some time identifying what you've picked up from others. Life is meant to be a fun journey for you, full of surprise and wonder. Don't let yourself get wrapped up and disappointed in others' feelings. Step 4 in the awareness manual is knowing your aligned authority. Now, this is the most crucial because if we continue to work together or you continue to follow my content, you will know eventually, if you don't already, that all roads lead back to the authority. And you know when someone says go with your gut and they usually have the best of intentions? Unfortunately, this is actually really bad advice if that's not how you're designed to make decisions. Yes, human design even helps you figure out how you're designed to make decisions. Remember what I said before, generators make up the largest portion of the population, and most generators will have what's known as a sacral authority, i.e. your gut. Which is why go with your gut is one of the most popular pieces of advice to try and help people make a decision. But it's not for everyone. When I learned that I was designed to make decisions from my gut, I was like, yeah, that tracks, that makes sense. My whole life, I've always felt this internal pull from my gut about where I should go, what I should do, who I should get close to, and who I should avoid. And I usually got into trouble and started to feel frustrated when I ignored that gut instinct. I like to call your authority your personal compass that points you to the right decision, the right direction, the right course of action for you. Sacral authorities. I might be biased, but I feel like this is the easiest authority to have and articulate. Again, probably because it's mine and my lived experience, so there's some bias there. But it's also the one we've been exposed to the most. Go with your gut. For me, it's a tugging and a nagging in my belly, like, hey, pay attention to me, I'm pulling you towards this thing. or it's a recoiling and I'm literally making a nah sound that involuntarily comes out. Emotional authority or solar plexus authority. I really feel for this authority the most because you have to ride the roller coaster wave, my friend. You will never feel 100% certain about your decisions. Your goal is to feel the highs and the lows, and then when you're feeling in a neutral, balanced state, come to a 70 to 80% certainty in your decision. Splenic authorities. Split decision instincts. You make decisions in the moment, and you need to learn to give yourself permission to change your mind and forgive yourself for doing so in another moment. Ego or heart authority. Talk it out. You have the power to will things into existence, and your answer becomes clear when you give that power a voice. Pay attention to what you're saying, not what you think. Self-authority or self-identity, G-center authority, any one of these you find online. Trust yourself. Trust your inner knowing. Not the voice in your head, never your head, but within your essence, your spirit. You might not understand how you know something, but you'll know when you know. Give it a voice and test out the bodily sensations. Environment authority. Your environment helps you find clarity. Having a sounding board that you trust to bounce your ideas off of will help you get that clarity on where you need to go and what you need to do. Moon authority or lunar authority, this is for our reflectors. Wait it out, loves. Meditate on it. Spend time going through the lunar cycle and see what comes up, what feelings emerge. Trust that the answer will become clear with time and reflection. All right, friends, step number 5, how to figure out all this information. So here's what you're gonna need. First, you're gonna need this information to get started. Your birth date, i.e. minus April 17th, your birth year, i.e. minus 1990, your exact birth time, minus 10:06 p.m., and your birthplace. So I was born in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. If you're from a small town that doesn't show up, just choose the largest or choose the closest or largest city or town that's near you. You just need the correct time zone. So you can pull up a Google map if you need to and just look for the biggest metropolitan area on the Google map near your town and choose that one. Then you're going to go to myhumandesign.com/get-your-chart and input your information to get a chart that looks like this. This is a human design chart. Lots going on, but don't worry. This is where you will find your type. This is where you will find your strategy. This is where you will find your not self theme and your signature, or here it says your sign. And this is also where you will find your authority. Now I want to talk a little bit about the impact this knowledge can have. Now you know how your energy works and how you're designed to move through the world. When to know something needs to shift and isn't working, when to know something is working, and how to make your decisions. You could stop here and I can pretty much guarantee that your life will forever change and you will have so much more acceptance and understanding and awareness of what makes you different and how to actually live an authentic life connected to yourself. But let's go through some helpful reminders in step 6. And included, we have some mantras for each energy type. Manifestors. Remember, you're not built like anyone else. You're here to tell us what you need and start us off, but don't try and keep the ball rolling. If you do, you're probably going to start to feel angry, and that's not correct for you. Remember to bring peace into the world and use your authority to help you make the right decisions to keep that peace for yourself and for us. A mantra you can use is, I trust my energy will be received correctly when I honor it correctly. Generators, remember, we magnetize what we need to us. Don't push. If you do, you'll probably start to feel frustrated, and that's not what we're here for. We're meant to bring a feeling of satisfaction into the world. Make sure you listen to your authority on which things to say yes to and which are not right for us. A mantra for us is, I trust that I don't have to push. The right solutions will come. Manifesting generators. Remember, you're not meant to have everything perfectly in place before you start. Just get moving and trust things will fall into place for you. If you spend too much time trying to figure out all the steps, you're probably going to end up feeling frustrated. Listen to your authority and only say yes to the things that light you up. Don't get distracted by the rest. A mantra for you is, I trust that I can take leaps and the right steps I need will appear. Projectors. Remember, let the doors open for you. You have so much guidance and wisdom for us, and we do need to hear it from you. But if it's not done in the right way, you can start to feel really bitter, and that's not correct for you. You're meant to feel success in what you have to give. Use your authority to let you know which doors are the right ones for you and where you'll be best received. A mantra for you is, I trust that the right doors will open for me and my wisdom will be well received. Reflectors. Remember, you absorb everything around you, so make sure that you're not identifying with what you're feeling, but reflecting it and reflecting on where it's coming from. If you start to get lost in others' feelings and confuse them for your own, you might start to feel disappointed with what comes up for you. That's not correct for you. You're here to feel the surprises and wonders of the world. Make sure to take time to decide how to move forward. A mantra you can use is, I trust that I feel what I need to feel, and time will make things clear for me. I also want to give a really important note here. Human design is not here to tell you what you can or can't do. It's not here to put us inside a box. Society already does that really well for us. Human design is here to give us awareness in the how, to help us connect to how we are designed to do something. So what's next? Where do you go from here? If you're looking for a more in-depth understanding of how your energy works, then I suggest an authentic soul map, which is my version of a human design reading. What you get with an authentic soul map is a detailed 1-hour recording of me going through your chart and providing information to help you with your goals, which are provided by you in your intake form. You also receive a PDF accompaniment including helpful reminders, explanations, keynotes, affirmations, and journal prompts. And you also get the opportunity to add on a one-on-one call with me to facilitate and coach you through how this information actually translates directly into your life so you can make the absolute most of your design. If you want some more information on authentic soul maps, all you have to do is scroll to the bottom of the screen and hit the button to learn more. Thank you so much for going through the awareness manual, and I'm so excited to feel and see the shifts in the world by you connecting to your authentic soul.